We've got some
Hey,
fresh
I'm
new young
Luis.
talent
And
doing
I'm
some things
Luis.
that I
And you're
know
listening
you
to the
haven't heard
Content is
before.
Profit podcast.
where we talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and of course, how to turn your content into profit.
Go to contentprofit.com and join the community. What are you talking, dude? What's happening to you?
I missed like a few letters. I think it's because I haven't eaten. I skipped lunch today. I was trying something new. I was like,
sure.
You know what? If I don't eat lunch, I'm still gonna have energy. But I think I'm on the decline right now.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, Fonzie.
I said, cut it. Content is profit.
Yeah, you should eat, man. What's
That's
going
right.
on?
Hey,
You read that one thing about, Benjamin Franklin. It's like, yeah, geniuses don't eat. And I'm like, well, it doesn't work that way, my man.
Yeah. For those that are asking themselves, what is that about? Not Benjamin Franklin, but Thomas Alva Edison.
Okay.
Is that there's actually like a common factor between those that are like extremely like gifted. They're very genius, and one of those is that they have very odd diets. They like don't eat for the entire day, or maybe just eat once. Thomas Alva Edison once only had a diet of drinking milk, so that's what he's referring to. I just have to explain, give a little bit of context.
It's okay. Let them comment on social media. It's fine. We can put the conversation there.
Then they're gonna think it's Benjamin Franklin
what-
doing the weird stuff.
And then they'll Google it and they'll be like, no. Okay. What are we talking about today?
Today we are kind of like recapping about Funnel Hiking Live
In
The
less than
best-
15 minutes.
The best event in the face of Earth until the BIZBROS launch, of course. The Content is Profit Con.
Ooh. That sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, let us know if you're interested. Maybe in Florida, have some fun. Go to Disney. Oh, let's go.
Are you still in Russell ideas?
Yes, absolutely. All right, here we go. Fonzie, do we have a sponsor today?
Indeed we do. Thank you for asking, good sir. And today's sponsor is your own, the BIZBROS with content momentum. If you have a podcast on long form video and you need to multi-purpose it, guess what? We are here to do it for you. So slide in the DMs at BIZBROSCO on Facebook, on Instagram, and slide real quick because let me tell you, we are working on some cool things, and you want to take advantage of it while it lasts.
Yeah, go ahead and follow the show because every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, these episodes are dropping on your phone in your favorite platform with incredible value and stories, so you can create that momentum in your business and your private life.
That is absolutely correct. Today, I actually had a thought about momentum. You want me to share it with you?
No, we gotta talk about Fun Hiking Live.
All right, cool. Well, I'll leave it for next episode. Remind me, guys.
All right, good.
We'll see if I remember. All right, let's talk about Funnel Hiking Live. First of all, share with me your impressions of the event. What were you expecting, and did the event, fill those expectations?
Sure. So, Fun Hiking Live for me, like the first time that we went was in 2019, and it was an incredible time because we were brand new to this like community, I guess, in the sense of going physically to this event. There were like 5,000 people, and the information is really powerful. Really, how they structure the event is very interesting. Because I'm not gonna ruin the surprise for anybody, but it's really interesting, and
Just ruin it. Just ruin the surprise.
no, I don't want to ruin it. So, but the thing for us is at the time we didn't have the show, and what we were offering to the marketplace at the time was a bunch of options, different options, right? And then we niched down last year, and that's where the momentum started happening in our company, and we were able to grow, right? Now, this year was a little bit different, right? And we last year we got a little overwhelmed with the amount of information because there wasn't really like one focus, right? We're like everything can be applied, everything can happen because really anything that you can choose, like with the things that they share with you, works. Everything
Every
works. Single time.
It's about commitment and discipline.
Exactly. So what happens when we came in this year, also in Orlando was cool because it was very close to where we live, is that we came in with a single focus, right? We know what we're doing right now. There's a couple things that might evolve in the next couple months, so stay tuned. But we kind of knew exactly where we wanted to go. So the information, from like Wednesday all the way to Saturday night was really cool because we're looking at, or at least I was looking at through the eyes of what we do now. So with that said, we had to go through our notes. Very, 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 very like concentrated and focused to make sure that we can extract those things to apply it today, because if we don't apply it, then
The golden boulders.
The golden boulders, exactly. So, but as far as like impression, it was super awesome because we were able to see a lot of the people that have come into the show. We were able to talk to a lot of our clients that were there as well. We were able to go and see people again, hug people. I finally approved to my wife that we do have friends. They're just in the online world, but in this case, we all came to the conference. So super excited, super positive experience for me. We didn't sleep much. We're still recovering. But what about you, Fonz?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was everything I was expecting. Yeah, I'm kidding. So honestly, last year I found it extremely amazing. I was super hyped up. But if I'm being honest, I don't think we ever like execute anything after post event. I think the event stayed with us because of how it made us feel, which was you feel like you're at home. You're like, oh man, I got my whole community right here. I got a whole bunch of like-minded people, right? Willing to talk business, that you tell them like, hey, what's your revenue? And they're like, yeah, I don't care sharing. You're like, how do you acquire customers? And they're like, I don't care sharing. I just want to share everything, which is absolutely amazing, right? I mean, just imagine you go to a bar and you ask a random guys like, hey, how do you acquire customers? That'd be pretty weird, right?
And they're like, what are customers?
Yeah,
the women in the bar.
All right, continue back to Funnel Hacking Live. So it was pretty cool being in the community, but like my brother said, this time we went with the focus of, okay, what is the one thing that we are going to take away and apply it? Now, that being said, that the event is over, I took away a lot of things, and now I got to do like a extra filtering. I got to go through my notes and say, okay, this goes out, this stays in the notes, just bury them deep inside, and then eventually one day they'll rise to the surface. And another one is going to be like, this is it. This is the one thing that we're going to apply. So
close your notebook for 1 second. I want to test you.
Are you going to test me on the exercise that I proposed before we started the exercise?
Yes. So what is like one or two things that kind of, there you go, that's stuck in your head like after a couple of days, right? Because we said, hey, we're gonna leave it, we're gonna marinate it a little bit, and then we're gonna process the notes, and then we're gonna execute on those. But I'm sure there's like one or two things that really highlights, or what are you doing?
I'm fixing the chair so I can put my leg on top of it.
I'm sure there's like one or two things that stuck, right?
Yeah.
What are those?
What are those? And those are not sandals, if you know what I'm talking about. The meme, guys. But about Funnel Hacking Live, back to it. Honestly, there's a few things that stuck. First of all, we got the pleasure of seeing the legend himself, Dan Kennedy, being at stage in Funnel Hacking Live. That was so freaking epic. And one of the things he said...
If you don't know who Dan Kennedy is, Google it, please.
Yeah,
right now.
Google it up.
Okay.
He actually said that marketing is all about behavioral psych and math, right? And I was like, oh man, that is so freaking good. And he said most people don't like the math side of it. And I totally relate. I think I geek out on the, behavioral side, right? Internal beliefs, external beliefs, vehicle, copywriting is all about it, right? Like knowing which strings to pull. But then when it comes to the math side, right, is very important, because you need to know, okay, how much is it costing me to acquire a customer? How much is my average car value? Like there's all these numbers that we need to keep track of and know, and that will determine, especially in a direct response marketing business, that will determine whether it's going to be successful or not, right? And if I'm being honest, I don't think we've been doing a great job at keeping track of those numbers inside of our business, right? So that I think is, that was one of the biggest things that popped in my head.
For the entire event, right? They normally pick like a topic, right? Like a big idea where they're gonna like frame the event around. Last year was frameworks. Everybody shared a bunch of their frameworks on how they execute things and how do they turn their content into profit, right? But this year, what they say is like whoever, and this is a quote directly from Dan Kennedy, right? Whoever can spend the most to acquire their customer wins, right? Whoever can spend the most to acquire their customer wins. with that said, right, they showed incredible proof of concept of a bunch of examples in different industries, probably like every single industry out there, right, from e-com to expert, on how that works. But the focus was on those numbers. Sometimes we come into this business world with either no education or no experience, right? Just following a passion, following these things, and we have to like relearn a lot of things.
Yep.
And sometimes the math is the last thing that we learn. Sometimes like I relate it to how people approach content, right? They leave it last. They try to handle all of it and they leave it last. And the truth is that we have to handle our companies today as a content production company and then the business side of it, because you can control your message, right? Now with the math, it's the same thing. Math is another thing that we have to put out there. And for us specifically, we have to basically look inside of the company and be like, okay, what are those numbers that really matter? So they did a whole breakup. We're probably going to do like another episode just specifically on that, or content for the group specifically, to where we're breaking it down for us, for other people, see what works, see what doesn't, and then trying to find it, right? So inside of the funnel, they talked about that three very specific numbers, which we can dive in later. But one of the things that really struck me at the very beginning was Kaylin Poulin, right? She has a $150 million business. They are in the fitness industry, weight loss for women, right? And she said, we do not release anything to the public without asking and surveying our customers. And that was, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Worth it. And that to me like resonated a lot, because when we first started with the service, obviously we listened to the people that were there, but then as we started diving in, and as we started jumping on calls, as we started talking to the marketplace, there's some things that we added to a service that help a ton and having incredible value for the customers that we currently have. But at the same time, we started discovering that there's other people out there that can be served, that we can help. But right now we don't have the specific tool to do it, right? So we're like, oh, and then we will sit on these meetings on Thursdays where we meet, or just talk on a regular time, right? We're like, hey, what else can we do? And then we would just brainstorm all these ideas. But at that point, we're just assuming, right? We go to dream mode and we're just assuming that will work for the customer because it worked for us. And sometimes that's not the case. So for me, that first day, that was really, really valuable, right? And then for the rest of the week, I think I deflated my brother many times, because he would come to me and he's like, dude, what about this? And what about that? And I just like started getting a little overwhelmed because of that thing that I just heard. And we're like, all right. Well, that's a great idea. But let's ask for feedback.
I'm gonna intervention right here. Like, I wasn't what about this and what about that wasn't product based. It was more like marketing based. Like, oh, should we try this simple 2-step funnel instead of building a massive, ginormous funnel that we're not gonna know if it's gonna convert or not, right? Like, that's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking product based, but that
you didn't let me finish. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. No worries, no finish.
No worries, no finish.
No worries. But actually, I was gonna say what you were talking about the. I feel like we got to a stage where we found like a challenge, and we're like, oh, let's just add more features to the service, right? It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna want that. Let's just add more features and then try to go out there and sell it. And I just remember, actually, right now, as you were sharing this, I saw a presentation for this guy. I don't remember his name, but he was like the head of growth for Uber. And he did a presentation on how a lot of firms and businesses die is because they actually go into that mode of, they think growth happens by adding features in the product.
Features.
By adding features in the product instead of going out there and trying to, find traffic, find reliable clients that are going to stay for a long time. And instead they're like, they like create a product, get some clients, get some people to leave the product. It's like, oh no, we need to improve it, make some more features, and then they get a little bit more clients instead of let's go and tap on other markets, right? Let's have a really good offer and then just go tap different markets. So it's pretty important. Actually, sorry, I'll let you talk here in a second. But I don't remember their names, but the DTC guys, right? The direct to customer guys, they talk about the sandbox. And it was pretty much the same concept, right? I mean, the Poulin, she does info products, I think it is, right? She does like fitness and classes, I guess. I'm not 100% sure of what she offers. But the DTC, they talk about direct to consumer. So they were like e-commerce side, like physical products. And they were like, literally the question that we get the most is, how do we pick our products? And he's like, we don't pick our products. We actually let our customers tell us what they want. They survey them, they ask them tons of questions. And that's the other thing that raised to my head right now when you're like, what are the most important things? This is one of them. They said, we don't sell, we sell to the customer based on the value that they already have in their head, which is huge because they ask him all these questions like, okay, what do you want? What do you want that offer to have, right? How much would you pay? And once the people already have that and they tell you, hey, I can pay $1,000 for that. Guess what? When you turn around with to fulfill that, they're going to pay the $1,000 because they already have the value in their head. And that was mind blowing. I was like, oh, dude, so simple, yet so overlooked. Like people just are like, we need to complicate everything. Yeah, Let's go.
One thought that came to mind when we were listening to this presentation, that specifically was in my head, sometimes we start our business because we're passionate about something, right? And it's our baby and it's the thing that we care on, right? And then we start adding those features and then we're like, oh, we think this is like the best machine, the best thing ever, right? And then, what's up, Edwin? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in live over here. Thanks for the shout out. And then we feel like that's our baby, right? That's the thing that is going to solve everybody's problem, right? And then we just get so attached to it that then it's really challenging to ask those questions because guess what? They're gonna take apart your baby, and it can be challenging. So as I was going through that, I was like, oh man, maybe people should start with something they're not too passionate about so they can ask those questions and basically like learn what the market is asking them for and provide that solution. That's far more profitable than just attaching to a baby. So that started a conversation in our heads. I'm like, okay, where should we go with this? And earlier I was in another mastermind and I was sharing the idea of like, where can this go, right? And one of the ideas out there is to put the Content Momentum Network, right? How can we serve our audience? How can we serve the people that come to our world from not publishing to trying to publish at the first, from starting to publish to create their own publishing platform, like our show, for example, right? It doesn't have to be a podcast, but what is that platform that can allow you to have a two-way conversation with the audience and with your real high-end customer, right? So that's something that we do here. And we're like, okay, how can we bring that? So over the next few weeks, we're going to start asking those questions in different groups, in our group, in our community to find out what direction we want to go.
I want to make a quick parenthesis right here. I was searching a kind of like a quote from another podcast that I heard. And it's about passion, right? About like, doing something that you're passionate about, right? And this is a podcast, we were actually talking about it earlier, about Thomas Alva Edison. And the guy at the end of the podcast said, one of his biggest lessons, and I'm going to quote directly, to me, the biggest lesson of Edison's life is finding something that you're passionate about the way he was passionate about inventing. This is a little bit different from doing what you love, as people say, in a subtle but more important way. I'm reminded of one of my favorite quotes from my favorite TV shows, a show called Patriot, where one of the lead characters says, and I quote, "You are what you can't stop doing." What that means is if we discover what someone is passionate about, then that person and that thing will intersect. Passion involves compulsion. People and what they love don't always intersect. People and their compulsion, whatever. I think I missed a few commas in there. But the point is, and I'm going to use Russell as an example, right? Like Russell loves marketing, right? But his compulsion is to market. Like he built ClickFunnels because he wanted to lead and all that stuff. But if he would focus on like, I'm passionate on building he's passionate about ClickFunnels, he loves the tool and the easiness that it provides to the customers. But if he would focus just on that he loves, guess what? He's not a coder, right? And he would just get overwhelmed. Maybe he wouldn't do anything. But his compulsion is, I need to teach the community how to do this stuff. And you can tell it. You can tell when he go on stage and he starts talking about it and teaching about it. I mean, one of the comments that we both had when we came back was, dude, it's impressive how Russell cares for his community. Like, honestly, that's like one of the biggest takeaways.
Cares, no curses.
No, I say cares.
Okay.
I say cares. I think I say cares. Let me know in the comments if I say cares or not.
You need food.
Yeah, I need food. But that was one of the most impactful things. It's like, wow, he really cares about his community, right?
Yeah.
And we're not the only one that said that. Like, I know of other people.
Yeah, and that's why they released a bunch of stuff, listening to their customer. Like, that was one of the things they're releasing, actually, ClickFunnels 2.0. Let's go. By the way, if you're not in, let us know. We will send you the affiliate link whenever they release it, because it is Gucci.
We're starting from all the affiliate race. It's gonna start like from zero. This is gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic. But also, like, just to wrap up, because I do have a baby that I have to get to. But one of the things that at the very end, obviously, they close out with Tony Robbins, right? This is the second time that we see him ever. And live as well, both.
Yeah. And it's not going to be the last one.
It's not going to be the last one, right? And, big part of his conversation with the audience was about imposter syndrome and how imposter syndrome is complete bullshit. I cannot talk.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. At the end of the day, it's literally our fear, right? Coming out into the world. And he mentioned something, and he was obviously, like, he dove into this, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, how do we create energy, right? Like, what is the first step? And for what he shared was, like, we got to change our state, right? Like, our state of, like, what are we focusing on? Normally we are focusing on the negatives instead of what we already have, right?
Yep.
And if we look in, like, even though we might not be in the final place that we want to be, we do have a ton of stuff that we have achieved. And those are a couple things that, we personally ignored over the last few months, right? And we need to be very thankful that we have an opportunity, that we have a platform like this, that we have an incredible audience, that we have an incredible group of people that are coming to our community every single day, right? That we have a family, that we have a car, that we can go places, right? That we have freedom, right? All these things that, as you start stacking them, right, it changes your internal state, and you start creating all this energy that then you can tackle and make better decisions, which at the end of the day, right, your business is a product of your decisions. So I thought, obviously, he went on, I think he was booked for like 2 or 3 hours, and then he went on for like 6, and it was incredible.
Hashtag over deliver.
I know. So for me, that was one of the things that really resonated. Fonzie, one of your last things that resonated, whether that was Tony or anything else in the
Well,
event?
I mean, I said the sandbox. I really like, honestly, Eileen Wilder. For those that don't know her, she's a high ticket closer. First, like, the presentation, how she did it. I mean, you can tell she's a total salesman. Fun fact, she's actually one of Myron Golden's students. I think you can tell by the way she, like, speaks on stage.
Yeah.
She actually used to be a preacher, and man, she was preaching sales in there. Pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie.
That was very good.
But one of the things that I love, she said, it was more internal, right? And it's this guy that used to hang out with Napoleon Hill, super successful, had a super successful company. And when they asked him why, like, what is the secret to your success, he attributed to 3 words, and the 3 words were "do it now." And he said he would tell himself, "Do it now," like 100 times every single day. Just
do it now,
do it now, do it now.
now.
And I'm like, dude, I'm going to start saying that all the time, because yes, I procrastinate, right? I mean, we all do. And I mean, sometimes I procrastinate in not the best ways possible, or maybe for too long. And that is part of something that I've been trying to build, right? More discipline. So I'm going to start telling myself, do it now, do it now, do it now. And also, I just love how simple her funnel was. She's like, I'm going to tell you the funnel. She's like, it's literally 1 page. It's a VSL and then an application button. And then just guess what? You track your numbers. And if you have a high acquisition cost, guess what? You're going to have a lot more room for mistake too. So that's why she does high ticket. It gives her more opportunity to test in there. And literally all she does is an ad to a video sales letter with an application button. And then you just jump on the phone, and she closes you, because she was absolutely amazing. I love her presentation.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of things, all other stuff. Irresistible offers, right? How do you tell a story that converts with Catherine Jones? That was great. That was one of the workshops that they FONZI did a workshop with Myron Golden. If you guys don't know Myron Golden, go check him out. And again, I think it was a great experience overall, because after 18 months of just, communicating only through Zoom. This was so needed. Human connection, the people that we meet online. So I want to encourage everybody, go and find an event. Maybe it's not that event, and if it's that event, awesome, let us know. But if it's something,
we'll see you next time.
if it's something local, right? If it's in your city, go out, have conversations, and hopefully it's people that might think a little bit different than you, but you can ignite it, right? Because in there we have people from all parts of the world, every single background, from startups all the way to millionaires, right? And everybody was in there collaborating and helping each other. So try to find that group. If you want to be part of that, right? If you want to be a part of that group like that, and you love content and you're producing, whether you're at the very beginning, whether you're a company making millions of dollars, come hang out in our group. Content is Profit. You can find us on Facebook, because that's something that we're actually going to be diving in.
Or you can go to contentisprofit.com, and then you can get your minimal viable content cheat sheet, and at the same time you can go and join the Facebook group.
Oh, beautiful. Well put, Fonzie.
Two for one.
So awesome. Again, and if you have any questions, if you want feedback, if you want to learn anything on this, right, on the audience, we haven't really produced anything for at the audience level. Everything that we do is on the back end for the B2B, for businesses.
But good things are coming.
Huh?
Good things are coming.
Good things are coming, yeah.
Ooh,
let us know. What do you want to know? A lot of the feedback that we asked was related to the operations of the show. How do I actually stream? How do I stay consistent? How do we create the cheat sheets? All that stuff that, yes, it is necessary. It is not as important as going out and executing it, but it does help. So if you have any other feedback, send us a DM at BIZBROS on Instagram
feedback,
or Facebook.
Question, comments. If you have a business entrepreneurship podcast, and you want to learn how do you monetize it in a way, how do you drive sales through your podcast, let us know. Ask any question that you may want. If you don't have a business or entrepreneurship podcast and you're just looking to grow your podcast through an audience, ask away. We have, actually, I'm very excited for a few things that we have on the table right now that we're going to start building, and we would love for you to be a part of it.
Yeah. All right. With that said, thank you so much for tuning into the Content is Profit podcast. Go ahead and follow the show on your favorite platform and at BIZBROS Co.
Oh, yeah, baby. I forgot what comes next. But, if we help you take one step forward closer to your goal, don't forget to share this episode and leave a 5-star review. See ya.
Bye, guys.